You're listening to JW Raw with Eminem.
We are live.
Live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, or wherever you are watching this, and we appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We are kind of changing things up a little bit. I'm Mark. There's Misha. And we have some guests in the studio today, which are our sponsors. And we wanted to get them on the show today to kind of talk about what it is we're promoting all the time. And they're great partners with us, and we wanted to give them some time to really talk about the benefits of their product and why they decided to become partners with us and why we thought this was a good fit for all of us. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce you guys. Who do we got in studio today?
How's it going, guys? My name's Billy. Next to me is Alex.
How's it going, everyone?
And Gina. These are my business partners.
Great.
So, thanks for having us.
So the name of the company is a CBD Boutique. You're a local company here in Albuquerque.
Correct.
And you guys have a website. It's Hecka Hemp Co.
Yeah, so our main website is thecbdboutique.com.
Okay.
Hecka Hemp Co. is our house brand product. So 2 websites.
And we'll get those links up on the on the page so we can check it out.
And both websites are linked together, right? So you go to CBD Boutique, it takes you to Hecka Hemp, right? Hecka Hemp.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So,
or if you
it's actually backwards.
Yeah.
So whenever you go to Hecka Hemp Co. and you're ready to buy a product, it actually sends you to
Oh, okay.
the boutique website.
Yeah, the CBD
okay,
Boutique is
so-
the e-commerce
Oh,
site.
okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Or
Okay.
Hecka Hemp Co. It was
Informative.
built just to give information about the product and what it is, where it comes from.
Cool.
So let's get some background about I guess roles. Who is what do you guys do for the company? What's your Billy? What do you do exactly?
So, I mean, we all do a lot of stuff, but I mean, I guess if you would have a main title, just what is it? Director of Procurement. So my task is for the CBD Boutique, both locations, online wholesale. I manage the product that we receive, and I do a little bit of branding as well. I run the social media. With Hecka Hemp Co., I help design labels and just try to give the look and feel towards our businesses. So
Cool. And you, sir?
I've pretty much just been handling training between our 2 locations with all of our employees, handling logistics as far as, where's money going, where's money coming from, where to delegate it out, and how much needs to go to specific avenues of either marketing or whatnot.
So that means you probably paid for some of the stuff in this room.
No, that actually comes from her.
Oh.
She's the lead accountant that we've got, so.
Perfect.
I wear a lot of different hats, but my first and most important, I'm a registered nurse, so I do a lot of patient advocacy and education to our customers and to our staff. I go out and do trainings with doctors and other clinics to help educate on hemp products and cannabis in general. So I do HR, I do accounting. We're finally getting someone to help me in that area, but pretty much just the daily operating. And then I run a nonprofit called Grow for Vets here in New Mexico, and we help pay for medical cannabis cards for our veterans suffering from PTSD. And then I help run the meetups here for the American Cannabis Nurses Association.
Awesome.
Actually, I want to elaborate on that point because I remember you told me about the veterans helping them. How's that work?
Basically, she has her own separate phone line at the shop, and it rings about 100 times a day, every day. And basically, it's word of mouth. These veterans will contact Gina, and we'll get them set up with, we take their information down, and the end result is we get them their card free of charge, right?
Yeah.
Free of charge.
That's actually awesome because I know there's companies here in town, and I've seen
yeah.
it actually on billboards and stuff, and they actually charge you like
anywhere from 150
They're
to
expensive.
300.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's
Yeah.
actually a very nice thing to do.
A lot of
with
our
the veterans.
veterans that have come back from doing their tours, a lot of them are on disability, whether it's 30% to 100% disability. So it makes it really hard if they want to start using cannabis as their primary medicine. it really makes it tough for them to get started. So we started fundraising, and that's all we do is just fundraise and then apply the money.
It's crazy because last week we had this gentleman, Navy SEAL, this decorated as they call Purple Heart, sustained a terrible injury in Iraq, ID, blown up and stuff like that. It was like he says almost actually passed away from pharmaceuticals, and he was on like 14 different pills, and just he couldn't sleep. He anxiety attacks, like demons in the head, like so much crazy stuff, until he looked for alternative stuff to get off of it. So what you guys doing, I think, is a good thing, and it seems like it's going in a direction with all the cannabis and CBD and stuff. People starting to recognize the actual benefits of it because it's, people don't want to be on drugs. Like it's hydrocodone, oxycodone. It's like everywhere you go on every billboard is like, it's no good, don't take it. But then every doctor you go to, they give it to you. It's like,
it's almost like how cigarettes have to have the smoking could kill.
Like, right, but they do it anyway.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Well, I think it's just people taking control over their health. You know, they're wanting that autonomy back again that they lose in the healthcare setting. And now that there's more choices and cannabis is becoming more and more available to people, they're opting for the lesser of all the evils. There's less side effects of cannabis and, just overall health. And I think just people are tired of popping pills all day long.
And Mikhail talked about that. He was literally addicted to 14, 15 different pharmaceutical pills. And one day he decided to just take control of his life and got into some yoga and some other therapy and stuff, and it's working out for him. But you guys, it seems, is another avenue for that. A lot of people are able to give up their pharmaceutical stuff for your product. Why would somebody want to use your product over pharmaceuticals? What would be the difference? Or
there's less side effects with cannabis in general. Really, the only side effect
like none.
I mean, really.
What are they like?
The only side effect to cannabis, like if you take too much CBD, you're just going to get really, really drowsy. If you smoke too much medical cannabis, you'll go to sleep or you get the munchies. But that's about the extent of it. I mean, it's not
a heavy bill for your grocery every month.
And in some cases, people have adverse reactions to where they get anxiety from it, and they have those little freakouts.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, that's where having a better understanding of CBD and hemp-based cannabis
and the different strains,
because you can use these other cannabinoids to actually mitigate most if not all of the negative effects from marijuana, from THC in particular.
Yeah, I want to talk about that exactly because coming from somebody that's grew up in a world where drugs are bad, any drug other than pharmaceuticals, who would be best to kind of talk about the difference between CBD oil and the other types of cannabis out there? I guess explain the difference, because there is a lot of confusion about that. So
major difference between what most people refer to as cannabis oil. That's actually marijuana oil. That's an extract that's been produced from marijuana plants, different strains, whether indica or sativa, and then they either infuse that into an oil and make a tincture, or infuse it into edibles, or put it into vape cartridges, or just smoke it straight, or vaporize it. The same type of extracts are prevalent in like the CBD industry. They just call them CBD oils just to make a difference. The main difference is one's coming from a plant that's designated as hemp, same cannabis strain, but can either produce under 0.3% THC, or if it's 0.31 is considered marijuana. So it just really comes down to the growing conditions. But there's really not much difference between a cannabis oil that you get from a dispensary compared to what you get just buying off the internet from a CBD shop, except for the THC content.
Well, yeah, so basically, like, a very simple way to put it is CBD is one compound, one cannabinoid found in the plant. So when people refer to CBD oil, they think that's what they're looking for is just CBD. And that's another, it gets really confusing, but a lot of our products are what we call full spectrum, meaning that the extract derived from the plant material not only contains CBD, but it contains other cannabinoids that people don't even realize they need. But, you know, so far through research, these cannabinoids that we're finding are beneficial for, you know, in one way or another. So, for instance, the Hecka Hemp Co. oral tinctures, all but one that we offer is a full spectrum. So you're not only getting the amount of CBD labeled on the bottle, but you're also getting trace amounts of other cannabinoids and even a fraction of THC that's not going to be enough to feel or cause a psychoactive effect, but it's all in there. It's the entourage effect. So,
Yeah.
So now, are you guys able to sell both versions through the company, or
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah. So, and how that works is the Hemp Farm Act was implemented in 2014, and they included or allowed states to implement hemp farming, and the Omnibus Act was implemented in 2016, where you could transfer across state lines. The only thing that you really can't transfer across state lines right now in the hemp industry is live plants or flower material. But you can transport and sell across state lines the final extracts in the final form. So the oils, the capsules, you know, anything that you want to infuse into a product. So that's what we can sell legally to the public is hemp extracts that are legally grown in hemp farm states. We're not a hemp farm state here in New Mexico yet, so we can't grow hemp here or, you know, extract here in New Mexico. So everything has to be contracted out to our local hemp farm states that surround us. Colorado is the closest.
Yeah. Let's not, you know, like we know it's for a fact, you know, because it's been in the news for forever that, you know, athletes use cannabis, right? Like that's why, I mean, it's becoming so available, like Colorado, Vegas, right, Nevada, and what other states? Washington, right?
Oregon,
it's like, when do you think? Do you hear anything about like New Mexico? Is it coming this way anytime soon, or where it's just recreationally like available?
It is. You know, we've got our governor has kind of put the gridlock on it here. But as soon as we get new people in the state house, I think we're going to be opening up a huge possibility here. The hemp farm bill passed after lots of vetoing and going to the Supreme Court and back. They finally passed the hemp farm bill for New Mexico for research. So come December or January 1, research purposes only, and then whoever gets into the next governor's seat hopefully will be cannabis friendly, and then we can start moving forward with legalization.
So at least for the next year under this Governor Martinez's term, you're pretty much the state is shut down.
Yeah,
they're not open to anything. And so, are you guys behind the scenes advocating,
Yeah,
going to the
so
legislature?
What's really cool is I think within like the last 2 weeks we've spoken to 2 candidates. They were both very open. I mean, it's a no-brainer. The boost the economy will get from just cannabis, regardless if it's hemp or marijuana, whatever. Very open to it so far.
There's no reason not to have it, man. It's like you'd rather have all these drunks, man, like running around and have liquor available. That people get do so much bad stuff on alcohol. It's like, you know, drunk driving, this and that, and alcohol makes you go crazy, man. Like how you don't see people that use cannabis.
Man, you can keep everyone on the opiates and just keep them sick. That's the better way to do it.
Alex and I were both at the Roundhouse yesterday. We sat in the New Mexico healthcare legislation committees, and cannabis, the medical cannabis program was on the agenda yesterday for testing for pesticides and just trying to overcome some of the public concerns that the Department of Health is kind of lacking behind on. But it was interesting in the session, the senators and the state representatives are all on board for cannabis. I mean, they're more of an advocate than I think the Department of Health. So it was really interesting yesterday to see that. But, you know, with the hemp business, we're able to touch people that, can't get their medical cannabis card for one reason or another. You don't need a medical cannabis card to purchase our products. And we created the HECA Energos for people that still are concerned for drug testing, that don't or can't have any THC at all in their system. Professional athletes. So, we're trying to get all aspects of customers and patients because we need to cover. Our demographics ranges from 6 months of age all the way up to the 90s, and we have, young, old, professional athletes. We have, professional people that need an alternative to function during the day.
So I take it every day, actually. I take it every day, in the morning and at night. I'm not lying.
Great.
Same here.
And I'm not just saying because you're here. I take it every single day, and I think it makes me feel better.
And he needs all the help he can get to calm him down sometimes.
Because I get it's hard not to develop anxiety when people pulling you in like 1,000 different directions. When you have that feeling of an accomplishment that there's something left on the table that you haven't gotten to it, and you have to, because like I have like a million different tasks to do. Oh, welcome. Diego Sanchez just walked in. Wow.
So while he's getting ready, I want to ask you guys, did. I know. I get this question all the time. With on the federal level, marijuana is illegal.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How are states able to bypass that or get around it so that it's legal in states, but the federal government still says no? I don't understand, and a lot of people have that question.
Yeah, well, they are allowing the states to rule on it individually, even though it's on a federally restricted. It's still a Schedule I federally. They've allowed through Congress. They've allowed the states to vote and elect whether or not they want to maintain a medical cannabis program. More and more states are coming, rec. Nevada's the most recent one. There's still some, kinks they need to work out there, but the Congress has allowed the states to vote on it individually and to be run individually. Now, each state has different requirements, and some states will. New Mexico was the first state to run a medical cannabis program, and
so it's like back in the 70s. A lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, it started in the 70s, but the actual medical cannabis program has been now, since, 2007. And we were kind of the poster child for the medical cannabis program, which a lot of people don't know. But some states are allowing it to be more municipal or county. Depending on, like, Nevada. Nevada is a rec state, but in certain counties it's not allowed. So so they're letting each state kind of run their medical cannabis program how they feel fit.
So the federal government is kind of just looking the other way and saying, what's best for the states. We're going to kind of leave that up to the individual states.
The omnibus acts of Congress, they've allowed it. So every April they vote to kind of keep the omnibus active when it comes to marijuana. So hopefully for right now, I'm not sure what's going to happen under this administration, whether Trump he's really not a full advocate. He's supportive of medical cannabis, but, we've got other people in his cabinet that aren't. So it's interesting. We're really trying to push to deschedule it, because if it's descheduled down, then it will be more available and accessible to people, and maybe hospitals at that point could even do trial clinicals with cannabis.
So that kind of seems like the route that is most beneficial to everybody, is to just deschedule marijuana, and that way the federal government says, okay, all right, it's not as bad.
Right.
As, okay.
But why do you think that Big Pharma doesn't want to embrace the
It's
this
the
type
money.
of, but they can, but if they embrace it and they start bringing in, I mean, they can also capitalize on it and sell it and use it in hospitals and things like that.
I
They're
personally
trying.
believe that they're getting ready. I mean, we've seen it a little bit
because they know it's coming at them, so they kind of prepare probably.
Yeah, that's kind of my nightmare is that happening basically.
You don't want that.
Yeah,
because those smaller companies will lose control.
It's not about the money either. It's about, like, you see people, like, say Colorado is a good example. They're extremely passionate about what they're doing. There's farms out there that give their product away, that will give clones away for people to grow, like, spread the love.
Wow.
You know, extremely knowledgeable, extremely passionate about what they're doing. And then you get, you know, the exact opposite with the pharmaceutical company that
they're going to want to shut you down.
They're going to shut that down. They're going to monopolize, and then they raise the pricing like crazy. So it's going to be just like any other, you know, go through your insurance to buy it, you know, $60,000 a month for something.
Big Pharma, don't you dare.
Yeah, don't do it.
How dare you, sirs.
Don't you dare.
I think their biggest barrier right now is the FDA. There's not a way for them to actually jump right into the pharmaceutical market with cannabis right now because they have to go through FDA testing. So that takes 10, 15, 20, 30 years, depending on how many stages that they have to pass, or if they even fail one, they have to start over again. So as more and more companies enter the FDA testing realm, that's when you're going to start seeing Bayer and GW Pharmaceuticals. I think there's like 4 other companies that actually have trials currently going on. And once you start seeing this, you're going to start seeing specific strains produced that the public won't even be able to have. So, you know, as long as we have advocates continue their fight for how they want marijuana or cannabis in general to be produced and utilized through other users, that's really going to determine what happens in the future with pharmaceuticals.
Makes sense. So I'm gonna have you swap out with Diego real quick, and I want to get Diego's opinion on his usage of it and what it's done for him, because obviously he's one of our veterans of the UFC and the gym, and MMA started right here in Albuquerque, as far as I'm concerned, because of this gentleman, and he has been through a few battles and had a few injuries, and you guys are really helping him out. So without further ado, we got Diego back on the show. So
what up?
Oh, you're good.
There we go. Got it right. It's good to be back, and these guys are hooking me up. They're my sponsors for this training camp. And I had heard all the stuff about CBD. You know, it's a big trendy thing on Instagram, on Twitter, and heard fighters. The first one I heard about it was Bas Rutten speaking on, you know, doing little funny videos and how happy he was, and you know, I said, oh, you know, whatever, you know, maybe try it out one day. You know, I didn't really want to have to fork out some cash to try it, you know, but it worked out, and in the end, you know, it came to me, and within 1 week of using the CBD product, and that's the thing is, like, you see, I was expecting like a right away effect, like you know,
magic,
like you know, you smoke some marijuana and it's like boom, right away, you know, you're like, yeah, you know, you're high and you feel it. So I was thinking, well, maybe it's going to be something like that, you know, I don't know. But anyways, I gave it a try in the highest dosage that I had been recommended to take, and it wasn't until 1 week later where one week later I just felt a little different in my mind, and this is coming from somebody who's been fighting for 15 years, you know, and obviously there's a cumulative effects of taking blows to the head, you know, and so I just noticed that my memory recall was better of all the things that I noticed, because I wanted to take it for the inflammation, of course, you know, we're in here, we're fighting, we're wrestling, we're grappling. Yesterday I did a 3-a-day, I've already done a 2-a-day today, and you know, so it's hard work. We're gonna have inflammation. That's natural. You know, you can only do so much with diet and nutrition and alkaline water and supplements, and you know, I'm doing all that too. Yeah. To fight the inflammation, but I heard this was a very powerful anti-inflammatory. I wanted to give it a try and see what it did for me. As I'm on my Diego rant, sorry guys, I do that. I tend to do that. Anyways, Yeah, but the thing that tripped me out was 1 week later that I just like, you know, when you get your brain fart and you have your little moment and you're like, oh, what was that guy's name? Or what was that? And you're thinking hard on it, and you're like,
that happens to me, and I'm not even hitting the head off.
And you're like, well, and you're like 5 minutes, five seconds goes by, maybe 10 seconds goes by. You're still thinking hard, and it's pissing you off. You're like, I know this. Yeah. And well, those little moments came for me, like maybe 10 seconds, got down to like 2 seconds. I'd be like, what was that? And I'd be like, like
a light bulb goes off.
And I was like, man, I was like, I think it must be the CBD because that's the only thing that I had changed up. And now it's been about 2 months, that I've been using it, and it really has been a lifesaver because about 2 weeks ago, I received a hard blow in training, and I was not knocked out. I didn't see white flashes. It wasn't a concussion type of injury, but I did notice that I had been hit really hard, and I had to go get stitches. And
there's evidence of that on your face, by the way. If people are looking at that, saying, "What the heck's going on?"
And so I had took that blow, and I really feel like the CBD has helped me to bounce back really fast. I bounced back within 1 week, and I took 1 week off, and I was even putting the CBD oil right on to the cut.
Wow!
And the cut is healing faster, and no infection. And just
this happened just a couple weeks ago, and it's I mean, the day it happened, I remember I saw the day. I mean, it looked horrible.
Everybody was scared.
It was scary. Yeah, I mean, you got a big fight coming up. You still have that fight coming up here.
And just the scary thing is, you take a hard blow in training. We try to avoid that, but as a mixed martial artist, it's gonna happen. I've seen it. I've seen it happen to Joanna sparring with Holly. She comes to a gym. And it's gonna happen. These people are gonna, especially when we have all these fighters from all around the world coming to test their skills, and they really want to see where they're at. And we get these little competitiveness in here, and some of the fighters aren't as experienced as someone like myself who knows we're here to work. We're here to work. We're here to go out. We're here to work together, get better, not get injured, and get to the fight.
So let me ask you, when you first started taking CBD oil through these guys, was it because of inflammation, or was it because you heard of other things that it could do for you? I mean, what was the main reason that said, I'm going to give this a try?
Well, I had done some research on it. I had done a little bit of research, and yeah, of course, the whole fight is against inflammation. In all disease. Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer. I think all of these diseases, when you have inflammation, it makes everything like 1,000 times worse. And like people don't realize, that you eat dairy, or even a whey protein shake, it comes from a cow, and it's going to cause your body inflammation. And these are things that I learned at Cerebrum Brain Health Institute in Dallas. When they were telling me, when I went out there with BJ Penn, me and him went.
Yeah, I remember that last year.
They taught us so much knowledgeable information about just inflammation. The fight is with inflammation, and they have these Alzheimer's patients, and see, they actually like their side effects that they have. They reverse their side effects by just diet alone, by putting them under comprehensive testing and seeing what foods they're allergic to and causes them to have the inflammation. And once they get that out of their system, the problems that they're having will start to go away. And so that's pretty crazy. I thought that was very powerful, and I wanted to see about this CBD stuff. It's marijuana and cannabis is a very controversial thing.
Of course,
I've had my dances with marijuana throughout my career. I always was a guy who loved marijuana, but probably loved marijuana too much. You know, like if you know you can't do it just every now and then, and if you have it and you want it, and that's an addiction.
Yeah.
And so you know, it's not my thing. But this is something that really helps, and it's amazing.
So let me ask you this. Let me just ask, because the UFC, obviously you're in the UFC, and they're testing for this kind of stuff.
Okay, that's a good question.
So let's kind of get into that a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure who can address this.
I can address it.
Okay, great. Is it USADA approved right now? Because we heard WADA may be approved. But
as of January 1st, it will be USADA approved for in competition. It is USADA approved out of competition right now.
Okay.
So basically, the day before the fight, the day of the fight, and I think the day after the fight, we're not supposed to take it. They told me, just on the safe side, 1 week before the fight, stop taking it.
So you covered your bases.
I called them up. I just called them up and talked to them, you know, and say, hey, you know, I'm taking the CBD. You know, I heard it was going to be legal. What's going on here? And so, actually, it's really cool that UFC has caught on that this stuff is good. You know, this stuff is great for fighters.
It's got great benefits
For anybody that is in an impact sport, and especially impact to the brain. You know, we go in there and we hit each other in the head. That's a pretty crazy sport. We should be on the cutting edge of all the stuff. You know, they should be educating the fighters on even stuff like diet too. You know, and inflammation, and how the fight with inflammation is, and they should have localized cryotherapy for us right after the fight. You know, they could really step it up, and they are.
Yeah, I think they started that new program out there. They just built that multi-million-dollar facility out there.
We have the UFC UFC PI.
Yeah, Performance Institute, exactly. So I think they have all that stuff in there. So
we do have that there. So, and that's in Vegas. But,
I think
if only they would have had that 15 years ago. Huh?
I think it's important to have an open mind. You know, just try and think. Cause I know we talked about before. You love different things. At least have an open mind. Try it and have. Obviously, we're doing your research. Yeah. You know, it's. We're doing your research. You know, you do research. You try, see if it works for you. I believe it works for me too. I believe it works for me too because like I said, I take every day and I feel kind of upbeat. Like my mood is better. Like I'll put it, right before I leave the house, put some drops on my tongue as I'm driving. Just let it sink in, and then just like you feel like. Because you feel the holistic effect of it, right? Like this natural that you're doing something, instead of popping a pill or something. It just even if it would be a placebo effect or whatever, it's which is not, but it just makes me feel good and light. My body. Have
you guys ever heard of neurogenesis?
I think so.
You ever heard of neurogenesis?
Never heard that one yet.
I
remember leaving out of there in a puddle of my own sweat.
It is a challenge.
It's like a swimming pool of sweat following me. It was
Did you see Joe Rogan like crazy about yoga right now? He's everywhere posting notifications, high on yoga. He's like, I'm high on yoga.
Yeah, it really is. And I've been doing yoga for years. And now I do my own yoga. I do it here at the gym.
Yeah, we watch you in the cage.
Because you learn, what the moves work for you and stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I like the effect of hot.
But the class is always good too, because the class is going to always be the correct balance between the right and the left. And this will bring a harmony to your body that you don't, because we don't do we do everything with our right hand, and we're not balanced. We're so imbalanced. Even if you took off all your clothes and looked in the mirror naked, you'd be like, whoa, like this side's bigger than that side. We need balance. Everything's balance, and yoga, it brings the balance. And what is life? Life is breath. Breath. If you don't breathe, you're going to die.
I found that hard yesterday.
And so in yoga,
I breathe my mouth
all about this diaphragmic breathing, this deep breathing. It's all centralized and localized around this thought of just, if you can learn how to breathe. Even the Iceman. What's the Iceman's name? You know which one I'm talking about? The one that freezes himself.
Yes. I saw him on the Incredible.
What's that? The cartoons.
Yeah, and the Marvel, he did the best, strongest, craziest people in the world. I saw that one.
Yeah.
He could sit in the coldest, he can swim against South Pole.
And he said it's all about the breathing too.
Well, I hear coaches yelling at the fighters all the time. Breathe, 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 breathe.
So if you stop your breathing, you die, bro. So you have to breathe.
This guy, they even injected him with like some weird virus, and he was able to fight it off with his breathing. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
This is Freeze Man, or who is this?
They call him the Iceman.
Iceman.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's cool, crazy.
This guy's out of control.
And Billy, you're a pro athlete, right? You're a pro athlete with motorbikes.
I kind of consider myself like semi-retired right now.
Semi-retired, but you've been involved in some heavy type of stuff, right? That has major effects on human body, right?
Yeah, I've been. My parents got me on a bike when I was 3, and I've rode my whole life. I'm 28 now, so.
Your parents, man. My father said, "If I ever get on a bike, he'll kill me myself."
Yeah,
your parents actually put you on the bike.
I think growing up in Albuquerque, ended up being a lifesaver, even though getting hurt every once in a while, it's like, what else would I have done? So
it's like in the MMA too, like you fighting, like, why am I fighting? You always hurt and stuff, but it's like it saves many lives. MMA, jiu-jitsu, and grappling and all that stuff. Yep. But you how long you been with how long you motorbike? Like you said, from 3 years.
So yeah, when I was 9, I started racing motocross locally. So there's a few places in New Mexico. Actually, when I was that age, it was really big. At one point, I think we had the most like professional motocross racers in the nation here in New Mexico. Oh, it's rooted in our history. It's really cool. Kind of like the MMA thing. We're big for that. So I had there was a bunch of places for me to ride, to train, stuff like that, and quit racing when I was 18. Out of high school, and just kind of was over it in a sense. But I started jumping, so freestyle motocross. Mm-hmm. So you switch from racing to just doing whatever you want. Basically, it's tricks. You do tricks, yeah.
Freestyle.
Everybody's seen it.
Freestyle BMX.
Yeah,
it's basically like the X Games.
It's crazy. Yeah, those guys are broken into pieces, man. I've seen those shows.
He was a little smarter than those X Games guys, because he knew. He was like, I don't really think I want to die from this.
Well, I consider myself like a calculated rider. Like, no matter what, if you want to progress, you have to push it to where there's no way of not crashing. Like, it's going to happen.
You're gonna fall.
And I've even I remember when I was learning how to flip, when I finally went for it, you could do all the training in your head in the foam pit you want. When it's time to actually go for it, I told myself, I was like, I might die right now. And I was like prepared. And I remember turning towards the ramp I knew I was going to do it. And like the flood of the adrenaline was like so much, I almost felt like crying. I only have like a 4-second run up to the ramp, but it was just so powerful.
So I felt when you rode bikes, right? When I came back, that feeling of you flying, that instant life flashes through your head, like it said, "I'm dead," like in 10 seconds. But you see everything. I couldn't even imagine you like up there or something, trying to attempt a trick, and you lose control of your bike, and then you're just like, you free falling.
Billy, did you start out with the motorbikes and then go to bicycles? Is that
no? I mean, this is all dirt. This is all
dirt. Okay,
yeah, so this is all motorbikes.
Okay,
the whole time.
And you would like fly up, like.
Yeah, so what you do, like freestyle motocross, there's a standard thing, kind of like probably I'm guessing the octagon is a standard circumference or whatever you want to say. It's the same thing. Like when you get hired to do shows, you go travel. When you train, you have a certain type. It's a metal ramp, 75-foot gap to what you call the knuckle, and that's a little bit right where you want to land, basically. Certain size landing. But yeah, we're talking 75-foot gap when you leave to where you land. Right around,
look him up, man. He showed me some videos, man. This guy gets pretty live on that bike. I was like, you thought I was crazy.
Everyone has everyone has their calling, everyone has their passion.
Yeah, it was my passion, which was awesome.
It's always good to find one. Some people live without it and searching all their life for passion, man.
Yeah, the crazy thing for me, I feel really blessed because, like, at first racing was like I wanted to do it, and then I saw, most of these kids are homeschooled. They have land to go ride on every single day. I couldn't have that. I didn't have that opportunity. And then I realized, like, this is an absolutely crazy lifestyle. Like, I want to eat a Pop-Tart in the morning. If you're trying to go be one of the top racers in the world, that's not possible. Yeah. Can't party, can't have fun. I kind of wanted to do that. So freestyle motocross was my route into that. And it actually worked because you're racing. How are you going to get paid? It's top 3 finishes maybe, or maybe your sponsors. But for me, it's like no matter how well I perform, I'm getting paid if I get hired for a show. Okay. So, but a lot of people don't realize, like, motocross is one of the most physically demanding sports in the world. You're
No doubt
talking
about it.
the pros are going about 20 minutes, 220
Controlling the
minute
bike,
for-
not falling.
You know what sport? These guys are resilient too.
Yeah.
Is skateboarding. You guys ever watch
Yeah,
that?
yeah, of course.
Man,
Yeah.
these guys, bro. I mean, like that, dude. We got mats, bro.
Yeah.
These guys are on
concrete.
They're on
Right.
concrete, man.
Yeah.
And I'm telling
Like
you,
the
these-
show ridiculousness.
No,
you see
they're
all the
fearless.
poses like
These guys
whoa.
don't wear pads, bro.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
They do the scorpions.
No, they
you
don't
fall
wear-
your feet.
Watch them.
I know.
Watch the pro skateboarding. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's
I'm a
exciting.
fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan.
I'm a
They
fan
don't.
too.
They don't wear no pads. They don't even wear helmets.
They've all broken every bone.
I'm like,
They just trust in their own skills.
I mean, but they crash and then they
crash.
get up and they're like toughing it
didn't hurt.
out. And unless they have
That'd
to
be
go
a
to the
good
hospital.
commercial.
So how do they put themselves together like this? Like you probably seen your friends, right? Like
Yeah, I've
just,
seen some really crazy stuff, and
your arms here, legs there.
Yeah.
The guy just like.
I think
falls.
the worst one I've seen, I've had a
Surgeries,
couple
huh?
really bad ones
Surgeries.
like airlifted
Surgeries.
crashes. I've been lucky to not suffer too much. I mean, I've had good amount of fractures, broken bones. Right now my back is the worst, and that's permanent.
I was
That's
just
the
about to
worst.
ask.
Was
you
it
about that.
before you got like? Did you get the chance to use CBD? Was it available
Exactly.
back
No,
then?
and
when
that's
you were-
actually what leads us into how I started in this,
I was
basically.
just about to ask
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
you gotta
so-
get on the hot yoga too, bro. Both you guys need to go get buddies.
What's
Go-
wrong with your back?
Go do it,
I think it's 3 herniated discs and degeneration of
dude.
the
No matter what it is,
vertebrae or something.
No matter what it is, hot yoga. If you do it for 1 month and if you're consistent, it really will. Your body's amazing. It can heal.
I love
and
what you said.
I'm the one that like. I've had injured every single joint in my body.
You said it saved your life. You
Every
told me that.
single
That's what made me
joint
to
in
go,
my body.
Diego.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what you said.
No, it saved my career.
Well,
at
that's what I said, the
It
career.
saved my career at the age of 20. Yoga saved my career, and this wasn't even hot yoga. This was just regular yoga at Define Fitness. I'd go every single day. I stopped lifting weights, and I started just doing yoga in the morning, and then I go do all my training and go to work, and I swear, 1 month. Well, I did it for 1 full year straight. Didn't miss a day. If I, maybe 5 days a week sometimes, but
Wow.
pretty dang consistent. I got addicted to it to where I made it my regiment, and I had a torn labrum in my hip, and my body was all messed up. This was at 20, because back then it was just take 4 ibuprofens, throw a little biofreeze on there, and get back to work.
That's my instructor yesterday when I went, by the way, to Keith and Jody's place, because Keith Jardine and Jody Escobar.
TRX.
Actually,
Mhm.
shout out to them.
TRX.
She's fighting this weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
So I went. It's close to the house on Tramway and Academy, and the lady that was giving instruction and leading the class, she says she's a snowboarder, and she says she has so many injuries, like crazy amount of injuries. Everything in her body is just like broken and twisted and broken ribs and this and that. And she said that yoga saved her life, saved her career, saved she's still board snowboarding. She's obsessed about it, and you can see like people that are obsessed about some things. Like I'm obsessed with jiu-jitsu, but I can't do it now because my back, so I have to find another obsession, and I think I found it yesterday.
Really?
Actually,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm doing it tomorrow. I'm already waiting for tomorrow class. It was very challenging, man. It was
That's
very
cool.
challenging.
I've
And I
tried
like the
yoga.
fact-
I thought I haven't done the hot yoga, but the yoga I tried, first of all, it was like mandatory. They were making us do it, and I don't think it was the right setting, so I didn't really feel it. You know?
No. You got to have the right place, the right energy where you feel comfortable, where you can relax and let it go.
I think the hot stuff is different. It adds something to it.
It does.
Yeah,
It does
it
because
did something.
Oh, yeah.
no. They found that it's just like a piece of metal. You put it in the fire, and that's how they mold
Bends.
it. So the heat. The traditional hot yoga was found out about by this guy.
Burma or something.
No,
Beltran.
Bikram.
Bikram.
I was
Yeah,
reading about it.
And this Bikram guy, he accidentally turned the heat up too high one day for training, and
And now he
and
drives
they,
a Rolls.
They found it.
Now
yeah.
he drives a Rolls Royce.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
I
Oh,
saw his
yeah.
pictures, bro. He's like biggest following ever. He like created hot yoga.
Because he turned up
did.
the heater.
But what
Exactly.
he did is he
Exactly.
put 21 poses together, and you go through the 21 poses, and every day, every single class is the same exact class. So I actually like the Bikram because for me, it's
It's
just
not for everyone though, because if you have like lower back pain or whatever, you have to be able to control your body too.
It's so structured that like you know exactly what you're getting into. Your brain can like manage the time and like so you can like conserve your energy and I still like Bikram, but I don't like the Bikram guy. I guess he's like a molester that he molested.
I read about it yesterday.
So I don't support Bikram anymore. And I go to this place called
many women are suing him. I saw that yesterday. And
Sweat Yoga.
Weinstein.
I go to this place called Sweat Yoga Studio. Yeah, I highly suggest anybody if you want to try it. It's like not a New Mexico feel. It's more like of a Dallas feel. You know, like the colors, the energy. They have zebra mats in there. Their room has a humidifier. It's really really cool, and they have all the amenities, showers.
Which one are you going to?
It's called Sweat Yoga Studio. Showers, lotions, towels, mats, everything. You don't need anything. Everything's very clean and thorough. So I go. All I need is my little short vest that I have to wear one in the class, and then I'm done. You know, and I don't have to bring my mat and.
Oh, they provide mats and everything.
Yeah, they got mats,
wow.
towel, because you have to have a mat, and then you have to towel over your mat. And then
it's like a sponge to soak up all your
sweat. Then a towel for after your shower. So they provide all that. Then they got all the organic lotions, and you put the lotions on. I'm like, they got the sprays for the deodorants. I'm like, I'm getting as much of that deodorant as I can. You know, I'm like,
yeah,
dude, they got mouthwash.
Yeah, that's intense.
I'm looking under the sink. I'm like, what else do they got down here?
Yeah, when Andre Lofsky was in camp last year, a couple of years ago, I can't remember. He was living with me. He made me go with him to Escobel's and Jardine's place, and it was intense. If the range of motion that you have just after even one session was incredible. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
Jody and Keith's spot is more of a hybrid place where they do. There's TRX available.
See, I don't know the difference.
They have workout classes where like I think Russian bag training.
No wonder Andre.
Ropes and so they had a bunch of stuff. They have a bunch of stuff, but they also incorporate the hot yoga there too, and it's excellent there also.
Pretty much the point of this conversation, guys, get off like drugs and try alternative stuff, man. This stuff works because people wouldn't be doing it. You have to find another avenue, man, like CBD oils, some natural stuff.
Hey, speaking of the CBD, speaking of the CBD for you, I think you would really like the CBD vape.
Vape?
Yeah.
I tried. You know what? No? For me, it wasn't. No.
Oh, really? Because you don't like the inhalation of it?
No, not that. It's just so you can. I don't know.
Because CBD.
Maybe I gotta try because I bought a flavor. They're different flavors,
CBD
so maybe there wasn't.
CBD still fights inflammation, so that's even fighting inflammation in your lungs too. You know, so I've used the CBD vape before, and just to give it a try, and I found that it's more of an instant. You know, it's more of an instant, and not only like for people who have anxiety. You know, that's what
Billy, you told me. Yeah, take a couple hits and you have anxiety.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's maybe I got to try different cartridge with different.
Or I mean, we carry different brands, so do you remember what you got?
Flavor just didn't do it for me. Some flavors.
No, they have different flavors. They have the one for sleep, the one for be alert.
I'll talk about it.
And this is like a completely legal thing. You know, you just go into the store, you know. But still, you got people who see you doing it. They're like, "What's that?"
Yeah, you know? They think,
"Oh, he's getting high."
Yeah, someone like me that doesn't understand the difference. What's the difference between the under the tongue version and the
it's the onset. So for the oils that you put underneath your tongue for sublingual, they take about 12 to 15 minutes to hit your system, and it'll last about 4 to 6 hours. Inhalation is pretty instant, like Diego was saying. As soon as you inhale, it's instantaneous. It lasts about 90 minutes in your system. Topicals you can apply every 2 to 3 hours, and topicals are cool because you can apply it just directly to the area that's affected. And it's not a systemic. So the transdermal patches, if you put the transdermal patches on, that's a systemic effect, and that's a slow release, like 1 milligram every hour for like 10 hours. But there's different routes of administration because everyone's different.
I didn't know that. So, so you can use patches.
And
Yeah, transdermal patches. We have capsules. Capsules last about 8 to 10 hours. They take about 2 hours to hit your system. And then you have the vape products, the inhalation, and then the sublingual.
it's awesome because I remember that's how I stumbled on CBD boutique, because I was looking for a different avenue and find something. I've been reading up on CBD for a long time, but I wanted someone to talk to. I want to actually have a person to talk to, and I was doing online. I was going to order it online. There's so many companies, so much conflicting information.
See, that's what I did too.
I didn't know.
I did the same. I did. The
I
same
didn't know
thing.
what the different milligrams meant. Like, what do I need? How much do I need? These things like that. So
Or
it's
if
confusing.
it's a legit company.
Yeah, or if it's a legit company, there's like website can look whichever way. So
who knows? Dude,
I'm
they
like,
could send you some hemp oil.
Yeah.
It has no CBD in it, and you're just placebo affecting it.
Right.
yeah, and then they have these ones. I'm like, what's the difference? Okay, if this is $50 product, looks like cheesy, over the shelf type stuff, where you see like this something that costs $180 and with this 70 milligram,
Right.
so what's that going to do for me? So I had all these questions. So obviously I Googled it. I Googled in the local Albuquerque, and I walked in and met Billy at the time. So I walk in, and there's like an older lady there, and then there's like some other people that are like in and out. I'm like, oh man, it was like right off Central, that location, So, and then I started asking questions, and they were very nice, and just answered it, and that's how I called for you, and I started talking about our gym and our fighters needing it, because I know all these guys are beat up and inflammations and stuff like Diego says.
So you guys answered the phone, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it's pretty much just literally like it's like it came to me, even though I came to it.
Yeah,
It
that's
kinda
kind of
came
how
to, like,
we got connected.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
It was
Like
really
you
crazy.
connected,
Yeah.
I came to you, Diego. Hey, you'd be a good grade, because I know Diego likes all this holistic stuff, and
Like-
and it just
Well, I don't
everything
know if
happens
you
for a
remember,
reason.
it was
man.
we were meeting up with Diego Brandao,
Brandao, yeah.
and he walked past.
Yeah, he
and we were
walked
like,
in.
"Hey."
I'm like, that's your guy. Diego like, hey, because I know he's a good dude,
And
man. I
I've
always
been wanting, and it's something that I was interested in myself too,
Yeah.
because longevity.
It found
you
us
know,
one way or another.
Hey, and that's
Really
the
did.
way they say the universe.
I think I'll
works.
take
That's
CBD for
right.
the rest of my life, because it just I want to have that
Same here.
it's something that
Yeah.
What's cool about that is, we have pet products. I got 3 dogs.
I heard about that too.
My dogs, they're pretty healthy. There's not like any real big issues, but I give it to them every single day. And my hopes are maybe it helps longevity of life. Or
80%.
I know how it works. So I know they also have an endocannabinoid system, just like humans. So I know it's probably more beneficial to give it to them daily than it is instead
yeah,
not giving it to
same,
them.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
Every day.
good. Another question like I would have: what are some of the things that our communities, MMA community, can do to put the light on this thing and make sure?
Let me
Like,
add
I mean, I know it's
Let me
start.
add real quick on what he was saying
Yeah.
about the dogs.
Yeah.
Because I have a little more information now about that about the dogs. See that the dogs, they've actually done studies with the dogs. So you say you got a dog, and real little small dogs are pretty popular now, right? People
Yes.
like their little
Chihuahua.
Chihuahuas,
Yeah.
their
Pekingese.
Pomeranians, and
Pocket dogs.
Those little dogs, the little cute dogs, they're so cute, But sometimes they get scared and like
They get anxiety.
Anxiety.
Dogs get anxiety.
Like Tom. Tom Fire Kid.
His little wolf.
He has his little fox dog,
Yeah.
but it's so skittish. Like you cannot go around that dog.
Yeah.
And I
He's
know
like-
it bothers Tom a little bit. Sometimes it's like he's just like
Tom,
his
put on
dog-
some CBD, man.
He
Put some
paid-
weed.
he
Give
paid
him a joint,
$1,000
man.
for that.
Give that dog a joint. Here's some vape, man.
no, but this stuff has like an 80%
Success
rate
Yeah.
with dogs
Animals,
that are,
dogs, yeah.
they have this anxiety, and you look at, and a lot of people get their dogs, they save them from the shelter, and they get these dogs,
The scared
who-
dogs that have had a hard life.
They have problems, man.
Yeah.
They're
Scared of
They're a
people.
little messed up. They have emotional problems.
Of course they do.
And
That's funny.
you put them on this CBD stuff, and it really does help them. They
That's
say
a
it's
close-
like an 80%.
that's a
Oh yeah, I would
80%
say we have
success
probably
rate.
about 45% of our clientele comes in for their animals.
yeah,
Wow.
and we'll
Yeah.
get them.
Well, they
Yeah.
add the drops to the food. Is that what they do?
Yeah,
I give it directly to them. They
Depends
love
on the
it.
dog.
Yeah, but it's very
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, I mean, you could find like dog treats and stuff. We used to carry dog treats, and then we realized an oral tincture is the same thing. Like, grab your dog's favorite treat and put it
Just
on there.
apply it.
There's
Dog-
not a big
dog
difference.
gummy bears.
Just give them a piece of steak,
Yeah.
And
You
it
know,
doesn't.
I'm
It
gonna
does.
try it. I'm gonna try it on my. I'll tell you guys how
You
it
know,
works.
we should
I'm
experiment
gonna-
on Tom's dog when he don't see it. Dude, we should. When he's training,
Let's
we'll
go.
My
put some.
dog is acting very
Did we say that on the air?
Hey,
My dog's so nice.
Calm.
Hey, I'll tell Tom. I'll be like, hey Tom,
Tom,
you know, your dog is very skittish, man.
I have a
I
solution.
have some training experience.
Don't let Tom watch this episode.
Can I borrow your dog?
When we
For a couple
first-
days?
I will train your dog.
Let's do it.
Just give me 15 minutes, and I promise your dog's going to be a little different when he comes back.
I used to bring one of my dogs to the shop when we first started getting the CBD drops for the animals, and I thought, well, I'll give her a couple of drops, and she was still running around barking at people. Give her a couple more drops, and about an hour later, I'm like, where the heck is she? She was passed out in the corner, and she slept for like 4 or 5 hours. Just I was
a
like,
way-
that's a little too much CBD.
That's a way to shut up your dog. Hey, tell me more about the different. I got 17 milligram, right? The one I use. Which is
1700. So
1700.
yeah.
Sorry, 1700 milligram. So, and I know there's different levels to this stuff.
Yeah,
starting
so-
from you look at these crappy ones for
Mhm.
$50.
Yeah. So
You know,
what's
they have
really cool
nothing.
is
And then this.
I like to tell people that we screen for quality for the products. So first of all, everything we carry is domestic. It has to be from a hemp state in America, you know, the plant material used in the product, which is a really, really big thing right off the bat. A lot of the products available on the market are from overseas. So, you know, if you're getting something across the state border
right,
in
yeah.
Colorado, there's a lot more quality control, I think, trust on both sides and
Yeah,
stuff.
because you can literally drive up to them and say,
Even
"Yo,
a
what the
neighbor-
hell, man?
You know,
what you
and
give me
just
this
the fact that we're
crap?"
even a neighbor state, you know,
Yeah,
like,
true. They
Colorado's been our home
Yeah,
base for a
yeah,
long
Especially
time.
they try to secure
know?
reputation and
Except when
they
they try to steal our
They
chili.
would want to try to do probably
And
the right thing.
like I s-
They did try to.
They tried to
sell
steal our
but,
chili
they
title.
got- now that they got their marijuana, they don't want our
Yeah,
chili.
our chili.
They got their own green chili. That's they it
Colorado
could
version,
Even
yeah.
be better than ours. in certain
They
ways.
tried to say it was better, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was a little side war there going on.
Yeah, they gave up on that one. They gave up.
We won.
We won.
Now we got the plates to prove it.
So, yeah, so basically, first of all, you know, we go with domestic products, and then we choose what we believe is the highest quality. So, say for oral tinctures, a good example is I think we have like 6 or 7 different brands that we carry, and you're going to find, you know, different strengths, different size bottles, different pricing. It's all based off of, you know, the brand, strength, and size of bottle you purchase. But I think it starts at $29, goes all the way up to $300, depending on what you get. So there's a huge difference. But I could tell you this right now, our least expensive brand that we carry, it's such high quality. I mean, it blows these, you know, foreign products out of the water.
Yeah.
You could find, it's ridiculous when you see stuff that people are buying, you know, $220 for a 900 milligram product when you could buy a 1,000 milligram product for 65. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
We
the
had-
testing is another thing that we make sure that our products that we order from the manufacturer has supply testing to us, and then we do third-party testing on our products to ensure one contaminants, but also to ensure the strength of the bottle is what it says. And then also we do it to make sure that the legalities of the THC always stay within the legal limits,
Yes,
to
so-
ensure safe quality products to our consumers for their protection as well.
And you have 2 locations here, right? And,
2 locations,
2
yeah.
locations, and you're growing, right? Your internet, you get a lot of traffic, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, we have a
So your website,
recent
nice
hiccup where our online card merchant's down right now. So we're working really hard on that. But yes, we do e-commerce, 2 locations here, and a strong wholesale
department.
program as well. Our wholesale program is really like, what's the word, diversified, basically. It's really cool because we offer so many different products. It's really cool. And we also have an exclusive distributor thing here in New Mexico with the company, and we're working on 2 more. So the idea is we're going to be able to just offer a huge spread of really high-end CBD products. So, you know, with all this competition popping up, or you want to run a store, it's like we're your one-stop shop. We'll send someone to deliver it, whatever you need. You could build a business with what we could offer.
And I think actually you're in a good position to do good things here, because obviously because of this environment here, like you said, there's a huge community of people that need that stuff. You're close
Yep.
to Colorado, obviously. Hopefully it comes this way, right? It becomes recreation available. More this and that. And you're positioned very well, I would say.
We do a lot of community outreach. This was a good opportunity for us to support local fighters, but we support Best Buddies and was it Companions? Canine Companions.
There you go.
We do the Grow for Vets,
Epilepsy.
the Epilepsy Education Foundation
awesome.
and
That's
awareness. So
All the right things.
yeah, so we really try to give back to the community as much as we can.
The more I talk about it, more I read about it, more I believe on it, because it's hard not to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Because
So the CBD, the CBD
It's still in
actually stops some people when they're having seizures, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually from what I've seen personally with our customers, I feel like that's the absolutely most beneficial. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but okay, say you go in for pain management, you're using this for pain management, like him, or to see the results, he used it consistently for a week. We've had people walk out and stop, seizures.
Yeah, I've
that
seen
day.
videos about that actually.
Yeah,
recently
it works really
For
well.
kids, I seen like this
exactly.
one kid who was like beating himself up all crazy, like it's like some disease where these kids like they start
sure.
they
I've
punch
seen that.
themselves and stuff and get they're just like all loco, and then they take some CBD and like they calm down.
Yeah, so it's the
really intrusive.
I think like for the seizure, it's the anticonvulsant effects, but that also crosses over to Parkinson's, tremors, stuff like that. But we've personally here in New Mexico,
shaking.
anything
Is
that
what
causes
is
shaking,
that
I
what-
think that's Parkinson's. But we've had some amazing feedback, and and it's really cool to hear these stories. People like they say, this product has changed our lives, and it's just really cool,
The coolest thing about it, though, is the following of local providers that we have. We have oncologists, we have neurologists, we have pain clinics, family practice that are starting to refer their patients over for alternatives.
My juice shop.
Your juice shop, yeah. So it's really neat. And like I said, I mean, our demographics ranges from 6 months all the way up to 90s. And we have all different types of people that come in. Cancer, epilepsy, pain, dementia, Parkinson's, ADD, autism. The list goes on and
I
on
think
and
even
on.
if you don't have all those things, hopefully, just
Just general
preventative,
well-being.
It
Like I
doesn't
said
have
with
any
my
side
dogs,
effects. It doesn't have
basically.
any side effects. Like, I don't feel
Preventative. That's key.
preventative. Like,
Absolutely.
you don't need to wait till you get cancer to start taking some stuff. Start taking it now. It's holistic. It's from nature. It's from the earth. It's not
I'm
pharmaceutical crap.
I'm gonna
I think
definitely.
pharmaceuticals will give you cancer and much
that's-
more. And
we
that's
wanna keep you sick.
that's a proven
Get you
fact.
addicted.
Yeah.
I definitely want to tell more of my teammates, and I have been.
That's why we're doing. That's why we're doing
I'm
this.
talking
That's why we're doing
more
this.
of my teammates. I want them to catch on.
They will.
They need to catch on, especially the ones who are veterans like myself.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, look at me. I'm the longest tenured contracted athlete in the UFC of all time history.
Yes, you are.
I still look young. I'm still vibrant. I'm still healthy. I still have a ton of
kicking
energy.
ass.
I'm still taking down these guys in these big
Yes, you
guys.
do.
And so
Beat me
I'm an
up.
example. And it's yoga, it's alkaline water, it's supplements, it's researching, it's being knowledgeable. It's
collecting the right things.
Right.
Knowledge. Knowledge is the key.
The CBD is a huge part of it. It's a huge part of it. And if you're a combat sports athlete, or even football, or hockey, or rugby, you need to be looking into these things. You need to and this is coming from a lifetime fighter. All right, I started at the age of 6, 7. Once I put them gloves on, I didn't want to take them off.
Yeah.
I was in the trailer park. You take the right, I take the left. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
And so this is coming from someone who has really been through it. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you youngsters out there, all you amateurs that are amateur young fighters and you want to be fighters, listen, it's the accumulation. It's the year after year. These guys go down there and they're sparring their asses hard, and they're getting it on. They want to prove, I'm the better one. I'm gonna get my, I don't know what they're out to prove, but they're sparring hard, And you don't feel it when you're young like that.
Yeah,
And it's accumulation. It'll add up over the years, and that's why my message to these fighters out there that maybe they're in their mid-20s. You know, maybe they've been doing it for 5 years, wrestling for another 5. You know what? Take care of yourself. You know, it's not only about not drinking, because that obviously that's the first one. You know, stop the drinking. You know, if you're abusing it, and drinking, smoking. But look at these alternative things. Look at these alternative medicines.
Yeah.
You know, Ayurvedic medicine has been around forever, man, and Chinese medicine, thousands and thousands of years. Chinese medicine. You know, I do acupuncture. I have a guy who comes to my house and he does acupuncture on me. You know, and 2-3 times a week. You know, so you got to look into that side, but CBD is going to be legal on January 1st, and a moment that I like to bring up is when Nate Diaz and Conor fought. Nate Diaz had the CBD vape at the press conference.
Big scandal.
And
people didn't know about it.
No, and everybody was kind of freaking out, like, what's he doing up there? What is that? You know, is he getting high up there? You know, but they should actually be providing us with this after the fights.
Yeah, give us something. You come out like all broken from the cage, like convulsing.
And I told Billy, I said, hey, Billy,
give him something.
I told Billy, I said, hey, man, maybe we got to talk to Dana White, bro. You know, maybe we got to tell him, man, we need to get this CBD in the UFC for life. You know.
So at least
Billy, on your way, man.
Coming,
make it happen.
January 1st, we're good to go for anyone in the UFC. But in the meantime, you have a fight coming up in Virginia, and so you're gonna have to cut yourself off pretty soon here.
I'll take my last bottle that I have, and I'm gonna just about a week out.
Tell us about your fight.
I'm gonna do exactly what they told me to do. 1 week out, stop taking everything.
Tell us about your fight in Virginia.
I'm fighting Matt Brown, Matt the Immortal Brown. He's a legendary warrior fighter. He's a hard-nosed, strength and conditioning type of overcomer. You know, he's overcame some stuff in life. It gave him the confidence to go after his mixed martial arts career. He never was able to really take out some of the top guys, but he competed at the top level. He's put on some amazing fights, and you know, the guy's decided to retire.
Another veteran of the sport.
Yeah, he's gonna retire. This is his retirement fight.
Wow.
And he wants to retire me. And he has another thing coming.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Because it's going to be his time to retire, and not my time to retire. And so, you know, I'm excited about this fight. I'm just hungry.
You gotta make your point. Like, hey, bro, you done? I'm not done yet.
I had to take a week off of training for this cut, and my God, I'm just like freaking starving. I watched wrestling practice today from the side, and I was like,
yeah, it was hard not seeing.
It was hard, man. It was hard. Good thing Winklejohn was there to pull me aside and kick my ass on the pads. Because,
I saw that.
Because if not, I was this close.
I saw that yesterday.
My Diego, you're shaking.
I was like, I see Johnny Hendricks over here. I see Olympic guys. You know, Olympic Greco guys. I mean, the room was just saturated with great fighters. I even had to do a post about it and say, hey, good job, Joey, but your music still sucks.
Well, Diego, we just want to thank you for joining us today and talking about what your experience with the benefits of it. And
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate Hecka for supporting me through this training camp. It really has been a lifesaver because I did take a hard hit in training, and who knows? You know, if I wasn't on CBD, I might have pulled out of the fight.
It could have been devastating.
You could have, it could have gone two ways. You know, but I put all my faith in the Most High, and God's put this product in my path for a reason, and it helped me. It helped me through a hard time.
Great, thanks, Diego. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
And you want to talk about anxiety? When I'll tell you anxiety when you're laying in bed and you're thinking, man, am I gonna have to tell my wife that I'm gonna have to pull out of this? Am I gonna have to pull out of this fight? And am I gonna have to call UFC tomorrow?
Well,
that's freaking anxiety.
That's not gonna happen.
I was like, give me that damn CBD right now.
Calm down.
But thank you guys, and
we gotta get you.
I gotta get to my yoga.
Yeah, we gotta let you get back to your fourth practice of the day.
It's the third.
Oh, only third. Okay.
Greg Jackson told me to get a good stretch, maybe I was looking a little tight or something. You know, I did do a 3-day yesterday.
Yeah, you
so you know, I'm gonna go get some yoga in.
Thanks again, Diego.
Enjoy, man.
Good luck.
Yeah, talking about longevity, man. You know, like talking about a person that takes care of himself, literally in so many different ways. And he's a literally poster child for how to do research, work ethic, having a long career. Even though people screaming and yelling, Diego should retire because, you know, he lost one fight here and there, you know what I'm saying? The guys lose fights and they never come back. Diego, you know, he lost a fight, came back and freaking demolished the dude, you know.
Perseverance.
So perseverance, he's got the necessary skills. Sometimes your fights don't go your way. It just happens. It's life.
Yeah,
like,
we've addressed this.
You know, that's what people always, hey, you should retire. Like, you know, he'll decide when he wants to retire.
Diego has no desire to retire.
There's nothing wrong with him. People think like he's, you know, something because he was like this for 10 years. When you watch whatever, like when you watch the first Ultimate Fighter show.
Yeah, he was crazy in his first
episode. I'm like that's what got me hooked on that show. Who's this crazy warrior?
Yeah.
You know? And that was him. And then now I work with him and I met him. He's just like he was in the first show.
Yeah, I could see if this was something that was just a brand new, if he was acting like that just recently, but he's been like that since he started. So,
you know, that would be a great spokesman for you guys. You can go very far with him, you know, because if he truly believes in something, you know, which he does in this thing, and he'll take it far.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing.
He's a good advocate, like you said, for the team, for everyone. 'Cause people will listen to him.
I like how he knows so much about it too. Like he definitely did do his research, and I know
he reads.
The first time I talked to him, I think it was like I brought them a bottle, but I straight up told him and the other Diego, like, do your research, actually use the product, then we'll talk about this. You know, even though I was like, let's do something right. I mean, I wanted to say that, but I knew it was better to actually. I wanted them to be passionate and like the product to begin the relationship, which was cool. But no, he helps us out a lot. I think it's really cool. He endorses us, and
organic relationship just built because you know we just that's how I say it. The way I see it, if it meant to happen, it happened. You know, I walked into you, you came to me. One thing led to another. We were looking to do this thing. Then I knew for a long time because I myself was doing research. I came to you because I was doing research and I wanted to try it. I was like, my mind was hooked on CBD, and I'm like, I have to try it because I'm tired of pills. I'm tired, you know, of taking pills before I go to bed and stuff. Because I get pills at VA like this. Because you know, I go online, I order them, they come in, you know, like. So and I'm like, I gotta get off of all that stuff, man. So still working towards it to some extent, but. Like I'll have like breaks, you know, like you take something and you just stop and just like start taking it again. But I gotta stay consistent. I think consistency is the key, so it builds up in your system and it starts having effect. Definitely. So what do you think about our gym?
It's awesome.
It is. It's grown. I remember when the gym was off of Central and San Mateo over there. So it's a great facility. You guys have come a long way in expanding.
Yeah, I think my first time here was Elite OSM.
Yeah.
That place was awesome, but it's cool to be able to walk through and see the people fighting. And
we got a cool catwalk, little viewing area.
Yeah.
When I was walking up here to see where you guys were at, I was just looking down and checking out all the fires, sparring, and
it's a pretty legendary place, right? If you say so.
It is.
Like so many talents.
So you have the dorms, and then you have the OSM, the Elite.
There's a cafe too.
Yeah, we have nutritionists. We just opened. We have new people actually moved in today from Range, right? Range Cafe.
Oh,
they have. You heard about them?
Yeah.
Heard about? No, not Range. Radish.
Radish.
Yeah. I stood a cowboy for a second. Said Range. But Radish. Carlos Candi's favorite place.
Nice.
So they came here today. They're starting like grab and go type of stuff. So we already had a bunch of fighters go downstairs, try their food and stuff because we're trying to make this a one-time shop type of thing for visiting fighters from all around the world.
That's
great. A lot of them come in, they have driver's license, speak English or something like this, So then I have to suffer and look for help and stuff.
Yeah.
So
and we have that program set up for our shop, the 15% off. So
okay, all right, we'll make that announcement. So so all guys get 15% off.
Yeah, I think that's what we decided. As long as they're training here, just come on.
We'll make that happen. That's a good news, actually.
I think I wanted to take this time because I know during this talk we've talked about like both you and Diego mentioned about you're doing all this research and then you're just kind of hit in the face with what do I get? You know what I mean? And I just wanted to talk about maybe like the quality, why our product is different. You know, I'm sure a lot of people would be wondering that, and we haven't touched it yet. But we were lucky enough to create a relationship with a farm in Colorado, Elite Botanicals, and Elite is very well known in the cannabis industry.
Give them a plug, definitely.
Yeah, Elite Botanicals. Thank you guys. It's kind of funny because when we first started, you know, we started with $500 in the case, and we're like, let's see if this works, and we've grown from there. But we contacted them a long time ago, and it was kind of, we got the gist that we're maybe, you know, we're kind of too small or something. But about a year later, we contacted them again, and they're like, you know, we've been watching you, and you guys have been really going the right direction, and we'd be willing to work with you now. So we basically created some type of exclusive partnership where they're creating the formularies of the Hecka Hemp Co. Oral tincture for us in a laboratory down there, and they send it to us, and then we take the vats of the formularies and have them bottled and labeled in a ISO certified EPA approved laboratory here in Albuquerque. Thus, it's really, really cool. It's, you know, it's a farm. They got the plants there. They got the extraction facility there. It's really unique. The extraction method they use, it's organically grown, pesticide free. You know, how Gina mentioned we're doing the testing. I mean, in our formulation fee, we're paying for testing of the plant material, testing of the extraction once it's infused into the carrier oil. And we don't even have to do another test, but we do. There's no regulations on it, but that's just, you know, we're going the extra mile to make sure that we have the best product out there, you know. And I'm not going to claim it's the very best product out there, but it's up there for sure. Okay, when you're talking about other products.
Hopefully we can use, you know, our influence somehow.
I'm glad,
you know, that to help you grow as well, as because you helped us so much. You know, we're very grateful for, because we've been talking about podcasts and creating something like this for a while, you know, and just you came guys at the right time, and we were able to put it together, and we just, like keep saying, we're still in the beginning stages of it. So, but it's gonna grow. It's like anything that's associated with this place grows, because that's why people come here.
Well,
it's gonna grow. Personally, the companies that associate with it, with us, and sponsors and things like that. You know, we try to do the right things and just, you know, make sure it works.
I appreciate you guys educating us on this stuff.
And we needed that to understand,
especially you're getting your product from 4 or 5 hours away. We know exactly where it's coming from. It's not coming from China or some strange land where, like you said, the government control is. We know exactly where it's coming from. So. That puts a lot of people at ease that's taking your product.
Support your local companies, guys.
Definitely.
Support your local companies. Like that's where the business economy, man, booms, man, when the local businesses
definitely check out their websites and
cbdboutique.com.
Yeah, and we appreciate it.
Don't forget the PHE in the front.
CBD Boutique will take you to something else.
A UK site.
Okay, make sure you're great, yeah. But we appreciate you guys coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending a couple hours with us almost, and we're definitely looking forward to a long relationship with you guys. And thanks for coming down and visiting us. If you ever
thank you for having us.
Yeah, if you ever want to come back,
the doors are open all the time. You know,
okay.
You know, villages, come in, practices. You have friends, you want to give a tour to someone, bring over, no problem.
Cool,
great.
You know, meet some fighters, take some pictures, easy.
Sounds good.
Brush up on my wrestling. So
sure, if you have that experience.
Diego's waiting for you.
He's anxious.
His wrestling coach is my wrestling coach.
Oh, there you go.
If you wrestle, we have amateur MMA team, so we have amateur MMA team. I'll throw you in there. You can come in and train with some pros at night too. Where we can work, we can talk about it. If you have that martial arts experience, we can do it. And by the way, anyone who try and get into the training or come see the camp, jacksonwing.com. Just go on there, submit your inquiry, and you'll get an answer, and we'll bring you over.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
Through these doors walk the greatest fighters in the world.